Can you believe it? We may not be the first civilization on Earth. That sounds crazy, but the evidence could be buried in the rock, in the stone, our feet. Let's boldly assume that ancient times, an alien civilization has arrived on Earth. They also developed the metals they need. By the way, I did a batch of biological experiments. Then he left the Earth. If you assume from this perspective, so about the ancient civilizations that makes sense. 4.50 billion years of history are only 5,000 I don't believe it. Occupy humans only for 900,000% the only civilization on Earth. As early as 65 million years Scientists have discovered something that exists in this century. These tiny metal spheres are distributed around the world. The arrangement is unexpectedly similar, almost the traces of modern These traces are more capable of nuclear weapons tens of millions of years apart. That means nature makes its own nuclear weapons. Or before us, there really was a high civilization that disappeared. In 1980, geologist Walter in the Alvarez rock formations found a thin layer of clay. It contains a rare metallic fish. The content here is 30 times higher. Fish is one of the metals very rare, hardly seen at the surface of the Earth. But in meteorites and asteroids, it's relatively abundant. That's why, on Earth, in G to the layer of clay, at the junction of scientists will find a sudden increase in fish levels. Because at that time, an asteroid brought hit a lot of fish. It is characterized by being ultra corrosion resistant. Hard. A mixture of nitric acid won't do anything to it. Humans first discovered it in 1803. British chemist Tennant was studying biomine, accidentally separated this wonder metal because the compounds of fish colorful colors, so he was named rainbow ore. Early in the formation of the large numbers of fish sink to the ground, it's hard to see in the crust and surface of the Earth. So think about it the other way around. If an ancient civilization existed, their large-scale industrial activities, leave similar traces? And you know what? Before dinosaurs, it happened once on Earth. The real end of the world. That's what happened 252 million years ago. The catastrophe of mass extinction almost wiped out life on Earth. In this extinction, 96% of marine life, 70% of all land vertebrates disappear. Can you imagine? Originally swarms of life in the ocean, suddenly empty. Few large animals on land survive. The entire planet became almost a silent place. So what is the power can erase so many lives at once? Scientists have discovered the culprit at possibly from today's Siberia. There was a supervolcanic eruption. For millions of years, lava gushes out like an ocean, filled the atmosphere with carbon dioxide. The global temperature suddenly soared by 5 to 10 degrees. Oceans of large tracts of fish and coral. Poisonous gases released by volcanoes. Ultraviolet rays hit the ground like a food chain collapses in the entire ecosystem of the Earth. A complete collapse can just a few 100,000 years. Some small reptiles and insects survive. It is these survivors who are. And then came the rise of finally ushered in the golden age of dinosaurs. And during the Permide mass extinction, scientists have discovered the proportion burning of oil with us today. The trace left after the coal is almost this means that there may have been a planetary energy combustion accident. The amount of carbon like taking all the fossil fuels on Earth in one go. The traditional explanation is that volcanic eruptions could this be some civilized industrial activity? Exploded the traces left by some kind of weapon, like the Cambrian explosion. 540 million years ago, life suddenly appeared. Shell. The bones grew back overnight. Normal evolution takes millions of years. In geological time, it's almost instantaneous. Some scholars even suggest the sudden escalation of this species. Could it be related to some kind of external genetically modified or environmental remodeling? Modern civilization will leave behind radioactive elements. These things can persist in the ground for millions of years. But here's the thing. In rock formations older than scientists have also discovered strange polymer fragments, even almost the same as modern plastics. And here's what's even weirder. Their molecular structure. It's more advanced than the plastics we have today. If these were really made by ancient civilizations, that means that in the dirt beneath our feet, there may be garbage left behind by predecessors. In 1972, French scientists set up nuclear reactor was discovered. He ran it for hundreds of thousands of years, although the scientific community subsequent research found in rock formations around there are still nuclear weapons highly similar isometric features. The time was tens of millions of years. Does this mean ancient civilizations also even down the same path as us? What's even more shocking, scientists under the Antarctic geometry detected huge structures of unusual shape, man-made buildings in subglacial sediments. It was also found remains of genetically modified traces of concentrated mining of rare metals. One has to wonder, was Antarctica once the center of a civilization? They might even actively create an ice age. Seal your legacy with ice and snow. Wait for someone to find out in the future. The ice at the South Pole is 2 or 3 kilometers thick, are crushed and twisted. But when scientists detected it with radar, there are straight lines down there, symmetrical structure. It's like some kind of giant engineering relic. You know, nature loves chaos. And that neatness usually means that someone designed. And here's what's really amazing. Samples under the ice, some abnormal DNA fragments, normal biological evolution, will have random the pieces seem too neat and regular. It's like pre-written code. Some speculate this could be a way creatures specially designed to help civilization survive in Antarctica. In deep Antarctic sediments, also found traces of abnormal concentrations of rare earths are essential materials for building mobile phone rockets. Chips can't live without it. If these marks are not naturally formed, that probably means it was before us. There's large-scale mining in Antarctica, so why freeze civilization? If these findings are true, then this civilization may have mastered technology our present no one can imagine. It may actively cool the climate, freeze the entire Antarctic using ice as a time capsule, preserve evidence of their existence. Of course, some scientists have also come up with another explanation. It may be a special geological DNA abnormalities, could also be contamination. Maybe it's a natural phenomenon left over. But here's the thing. These clues are too coincidental. It's too systematic. It's hard not to doubt. There really is a lost civilization hidden under the ice. Maybe civilization wasn't a one-time thing. They come in cycles, and they die out. Their traces are buried in the ground, weathered and buried. But at a critical moment, show us any clues. So here's the problem. If we were not the first civilization, then will we not be the last? The traces we leave behind will find the future.